My best friend of 11 years got messy during our girls' night and hooked up with some random bar guy while planning to dump her boyfriend, but then decided to stay with him and take her cheating to the grave, so now I'm the one stuck with her dirty secret. Posted by you/strange. Story 352. I'm feeling a bit conflicted because my absolute best friend of 11 years made a pretty big mistake last weekend. We went out downtown for drinks and dancing because her relationship has been a bit rocky lately. They have been together for 8 years and have 2 kids together. Last weekend she said she was going to break up with him, so she slept with a guy she met while we were at a bar. In the last week, she and her boyfriend have decided to stay together, and she told me she is taking what she did to the grave. I told her that he really deserves to know. She has been cheated on before, so she knows how much it sucks. I feel like I'm in a weird position because my loyalty is to my friend, but my morals are loyal to anyone. My gut tells me to tell him, but my heart knows that will end our friendship and potentially their relationship. I am currently planning on calling him tonight to tell him. I want to give her a heads up before I do it, so she can decide if she would rather tell him herself. Would I be the jerk? Relevant comments. Op is urged to tell the boyfriend about the cheating. Op's response, the issue with that is I'm the only person that knows besides her and the guy she cheated with. She literally said if her boyfriend ever finds out, I'll know it was you. Commenter 1, weren't you two in public where anyone could have seen her hitting on guys or vice versa? One of his friends could have been at the bar. How close are you to him? Are you friends? I feel for you as I would have a real problem not telling on one of either of them. I'd stay out of it. Op's response, we do refer to each other as family. Like he says I'm his little sister, and I refer to him as a brother, so yes we are close. But mostly because of my friend. He has always been there for me when I had a crazy ex threaten my safety. So I think that's an aspect, he always looks out for me, so I feel I need to do the same here. Commenter 2, you should definitely give her the opportunity to tell him herself at the very least. And discuss what that timeline may look like before giving any ultimatums to her. If they have kids, she may not be able to have this discussion on a weeknight. People work, have home and kid responsibilities, probably don't want to be crying, yelling, fighting in front of their children. What's going on in his life? Is this information going to crush him and ruin or jeopardize something important to him? Maybe she wants to do this in the presence of a counselor? This is going to be a hard, emotional, tough discussion with some tough decisions for them to make. They may need a babysitter. The truth typically comes out, and if your friend has some decency, having the secret will tear her up. Give her a chance to do the right thing. Also, as you mentioned, you telling him will ruin your relationship with your friend. And he may get mad at you for some reason, and they may still stay together anyways. Or you telling him instead of her will end any chance of them working it out themselves. And if your friend doesn't tell him and this goes against your morals, is this a friend you even want to have in the first place? Losing your friendship because she won't do the right thing is also a consequence. And maybe one you can dish out that's more in your lane. Op's response, this is really great insight. You bring up some really great points. One thing you mentioned that is in the back of my head is, my opinion of her has changed since last weekend. I tend to view people who cheat as people with little or no empathy or morals, so I am even questioning if she fits in my life the same now, because if she can cheat on her boyfriend and father of her kids, she could also betray me. And yes, their kids are very young, but nonetheless you are right, they probably want to have a safe place to do this. I am the only one they trust to watch their kids, so perhaps I can offer her that I will hang out with the kids while they have that conversation for as long as they need. I think giving her until Sunday night feels right since she doesn't work and he is off this weekend. What do you think about that? Op should end her friendship with a friend because it has revealed the friend's character. Op's response, it was more like friend texts me that she's been wanting a girls' night, she's been cooped up in the house a lot and things have been up and down with her boyfriend. Would I be up for trying a new bar and lounge that opened up? Update, 3 days later. I called her on Friday just telling her that I wasn't comfortable carrying this secret for her. My moral compass tells me that her boyfriend deserves to know, and as 2 women, me and her, who have both been cheated on, I expect her to understand. So I told her she needed to tell him this weekend or I would. I offered to take the kids out to ice cream and a movie so they could have the house and afternoon to themselves to talk through this. I also let her know that it would sound much better coming from her. The opportunity to work through this would probably be higher because accountability and honesty are important in relationships. She didn't respond too well to this. She told me that it was none of my business, and I would just be trying to ruin her relationship. She also let me know she would never forgive me. I let her know that I wasn't seeking her forgiveness, and that it was my business when she chose to cheat on her boyfriend on our girls' night, and that I wouldn't be the one ruining her relationship, her actions would be. She was very upset and rejected my offer to watch her kiddos but said she would have the conversation after she put the kids down to bed. I followed up yesterday morning to see if she had the conversation. She left me on read at 10:53 a.m. I sent another later that evening around 5 p.m. to find I had been blocked. So, I took that as my answer and FaceTimed her boyfriend. I did have an image from that night of her at the bar with the guy she cheated with. I took it as I was leaving to get in my Uber. She insisted that I leave her alone that night even though I told her she was making a big mistake. At first, he thought I was making this up, but after he was able to ask some questions and saw the picture, he simply thanked me for letting him know. He let me know he is going to get tested because they have been intimate in the last week since she cheated. I am unsure where the relationship stands, and I am pretty confident I won't ever really know as my best friend has now blocked me on everything. I expected the friendship to end, whether I told him or not, because I don't want to be surrounded by anyone who would betray someone they are supposed to love. I have started receiving a lot of scam calls for insurance quotes and a few screw you texts from an unknown number. I assume these are her, which makes sense because she has done that to others in the past that she felt burned her. Relevant comments. Up on the boyfriend's reactions to the truth and if she has heard from him yet. I do not, but I may hear from our friend group at some point. He's a pretty level-headed guy. I could tell from his tone he was more hurt than anything, maybe a smidge of anger. So tough telling what will happen. I'll report back if I hear. One of our mutual friends called me last night after she spoke to the cheater, so I have an update. They have agreed to split. I guess this had been an issue from early in their relationship. She cheated about 1 year and so it was the final straw for him. They will split custody and she will be moving out in the next 2 months when her finances allow. Commenter 1. I have a hard time believing that your motives are as pure as you say, if you knew about her harassing people in the past and were fine staying friends with her. Ops response. Fair to question, she would always put our friends' ex's numbers into insurance quote or posts on Craigslist with their numbers. It never seemed concerning to me because it's an annoyance but not threatening in any way. To be honest, I kinda think it's laughable. I wouldn't be saying that if she was threatening people, but I don't mind an insurance quote. If you don't think I'm pure, I'm okay with that. Commenter 2. I wholeheartedly disagree. By all means, distance yourself from the two of them if you are uncomfortable hanging around them with that knowledge. But that's her relationship. It's her life, and I really believe you were making this whole situation about you, about your morals, about what you're comfortable with. You honestly don't have a crystal ball and you can't know what outcome is the best. Especially with men, you don't know how they'll react to these kinds of things. You could have put her and her kid's life in danger by irresponsibly laying that truth bomb on someone. I grew up in a broken home from cheating, and I've seen great people slip and make mistakes. Sometimes people make promises they can't keep. It's painful, but I'd never dream of inserting myself into that drama. The truth always comes out, and it comes out at the right time. Ops response. I do think it's worth addressing her safety after sharing what she did. I know her partner pretty well, and while I understand he could surprise me, I genuinely was never concerned about her safety. He's not an aggressive guy by any means, so this was and isn't a concern. Furthermore, she's a professional boxer, so she can also hold her own. Commenter 3. Classic traits of a cheater. Placing blame on everyone but themselves. You were nice and told her to tell, she didn't. Her actions are the reason she's in her current predicament. Good for you. Commenter 4. Good job in exposing a cheater. Cheaters should be aware that there are consequences for cheating.